Hey everyone, thanks for joining us. The next episode of Red Valkyrie is about to start.
Hello everyone and welcome to Red Valkyrie. I am your host, Shae the Red, and I am here with the unbelievably classy and phenomenal Anas.
Anas. Yeah.
Anas, how are you doing, sweetie?
I'm doing great. Thank you for having me on your show. I'm absolutely loving your outfit. You know, you look amazing.
Thank you.
If I do say so myself, you know.
I was inspired by this beautiful artwork that I saw from this really epic looking cyberpunk comic book that I think that we just kind of need to dive right into, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. Yeah.
We have Eyva.
You've done a brilliant job. I may as well just put you up there.
So it's a lot of freeze spray, and thank you, Death Metal Hero, for the suggestion. He has a blue mohawk that's about 2 feet tall, and he was like, trust me, got to be freeze spray. We'll hold your hair in any shape. And he's very accurate. And I'm terrified to wash my hair after this. It'll be great.
Yeah, let's hope it doesn't fall out or anything like that. You know?
Nah, I'll be good. I just might have to shampoo about 5 or 6 times.
Right,
It'll be fine. We'll get there.
All right, that's good to know, because I'd hate to think I was the cause of it.
Look, even if it did happen, I have like 500 wigs over here. I'll just pick one. It'll be fine.
All right, good.
All right, so let's get into your book, Eyva. How about you give us the rundown on what this is?
So the idea behind Eyva was, I was just thinking about like social media and, you know, the likes of Facebook. You know, imagine like, you know, it becomes so powerful. It becomes like the governing body of a future post-apocalyptic nation. And then, you know, sort of your timeline, instead of you choosing what you want to put on your timeline, you are monitored 24 hours a day. So you can't say things, you know, or else, you know, you can easily just get into trouble for anything. So, you know, it renders the police, you know, sort of redundant because they're no longer needed, you know, since someone's watching you all the time. And so the idea of this world came along, and Eyva is a bioengineer, and she's trying to sort of cure a, you know, degenerative brain disease. But then Mainframe, you know, this authoritarian government think, okay, well, actually, we've got a better use for this, which is more mind control. So that's the way they want to go. And they're trying to control a fraction group who control a very, very lucrative mine. And yeah, you know, she is a badass heroine with a potty mouth turn. Like, let's just say she doesn't hold back, you know.
Good for her, nor should she.
No, exactly. So she's not just beautiful, she's got brains, and you know, she can sort of transform herself to suit whatever, you know, the scenario, you know, whatever she needs to do, she will find a way to get it done, you know. Mm-hmm. She's no wallflower, let's just say that.
Oh yeah.
You know.
That doesn't look like a wallflower at all.
No, absolutely.
I want her workout regime, because I need to get that figure back, and thanks COVID, you screwed me over.
Oh, I'm telling you, I know I have gained so much weight that I'm just like, now I need to get back into shape, because, you know, I just look at her and I think, oh, you know,
right.
Especially when it's summer and you just feel like so uncomfortable in your skin and you just want to work out, you know. So
I was so bummed. I was almost to my target weight that I haven't been in like 20 years, and then this happened and I put all my weight back on, and I was like, okay, all right, well, we almost were there. It's fine. We'll get there again, damn it.
Yes, we'll get there again. Yeah. Oh yeah, no, I'm tomorrow. I'm going to be going jogging. It may be a slow jog, but I will do it.
I tell myself I'm going to do those things, and then my alarm goes off, and I go, but I could also just lay in bed, and then I lay in bed, and then I get sad, and then I eat chocolate, and then I get sadder.
Oh, I know. I know. I love a dark chocolate with chili or dark chocolate with salted caramel, and then a glass of wine with it. Oh,
I mean, obviously you need wine with it. It just goes hand in hand.
Absolutely.
We are only human, damn it. I feel like we cannot be each other's workout partners because we'd be like, or we could sit and have wine. And it's like, yeah, that sounds better.
We'll run when we can drink.
Exactly. Can I run to a glass of wine? Like, just if you put it at the end of the street and say, if you don't get here in time, it's going to knock over. I bet you I get there before it does.
I'll tell you what, we should have those caps where they've got the little straws in it and it's like attached to a bottle of wine.
Go jogging while drinking. I love it. Oh my gosh, you are a genius. This is perfect. I have a new running regime. It's not going to work at all, and I'm going to keep. At least I probably won't gain weight, right?
No, because I love to eat, so I'm gonna have to exercise. It's like either I starve myself or I eat and then punish myself afterwards.
I would rather eat and then punish myself because food is delicious.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. So yeah. So,
my gosh. I'm sorry. Ideas. I have to show you this. Shae with the I want to speak with your authoritarian hairstyle.
Actually, it does look very authoritarian,
right?
I mean, it's like you want to stand upright, like I'm waiting for your order.
It's like you down. It's like, oh, okay, yep, my bad.
I think because I'm an absolutely big fan of Deadpool, and I just love the things he comes out with, and you just think, yeah, right, people think it, but they just don't say it because it's so not PC. So I just thought it'd be so great to have, like a woman with sort of she's a regular person, but she comes out with the one-liners, So because I was discussing about the relettering, we're actually changing some of the things that she says, so they're a bit more, punchy. Let's just say.
More sassy,
a bit more sassy, a bit more like, oh hell, don't mess with her.
Right, exactly. Girls with good posture are hot. So see, you just made a hairstyle that forces good posture, because I tried taking some of these pictures and I was like, man, I'm slouching, and I'd like sit up and I was like, oh, there we go, it's a good angle. It's okay. So you just have to own it.
I've always pictured like a billboard with all the characters, like a profile, and they've all got their implants on, and it's a whole row of them, and I used to envisage that when I was on in London and on the Underground station, and they've got the massive cinematic billboards. I was like, imagine, having Eyva with, sort of all the characters and their implants, and it'll just look so amazing. So yeah, that's the dream.
You know what? That would also be a really good postcard if you ever decided that you wanted to offer it. If you had it as a sideways postcard, that'd be beautiful.
Yeah, no, that would be brilliant. Actually, thank you for the. I'm full of ideas, aren't you?
That's why people come here. I say the things and I dress up.
Well, you've inspired me as well, because I've always wanted to go blonde. As you can see, it will take a lot of bleach to get this. I think I did back in the 90s. I did try to go blonde. It kind of went ginger.
I like ginger. I will say this is 2 cans of blonde hairspray color that sits on top of your hair. And it's only kind of blonde and only in the front. So and my hair used to be much longer. I just cut about 18 inches off. But when I first tried to do something like this, I had 3 bottles of silver hairspray, and I got through the top layer of half of my hair, and I just had to gather the rest of it in the back, and so you couldn't see it, and just pretend that it was all silver. So it takes a lot, but it can be worth it. Next time I'm going to try the hair wax stuff and see if that does better, because I've heard good things about that.
Oh yeah, I'd like to see that as well.
I will send you pictures, ma'am.
Yes, thank you very much.
Absolutely. Jason says, stay dark hair. Dark-haired ladies are cooler.
Oh, thank you. You're very kind.
I mean, you look beautiful as a brunette, I must
Oh,
say.
thank you. Oh, it's like luckily you can't see my gray hairs.
Okay, sweetie, we ain't talking gray hairs. I've been in the military for 14 years. It doesn't matter how old you are. I have plenty, and I blame all of my former airmen because oh my gosh, it's like having a million children that don't know how to listen.
Do you know, like, I mean, I was discussing about like moving into my house, and I've got my gray hair from all these tradesmen who, like, it's like, yeah, ma'am, please don't tell us how to do our jobs. Yeah, but I can see you're actually going to do something that's going to be wrong. And it's like, yeah, I told you that's going to, yeah, and then it's gray.
Yeah.
And
exactly.
It's like, what do you know? You're a woman. It's like, no, I have common sense.
I had a plumber who came into my house, and he was like, oh, well, for me to pull your toilet and reset it, it's going to be X amount of hundreds of dollars. And I was like, I know how to pull a toilet. And he was like, okay, sweetheart. And I was like, do you got a shop vac I can use? And he was just like, sure, if you want to try by the time I get back in here, if the toilet's gone. So he came back in to a hole in the ground, and I had the toilet sitting in the tub. I was like, whenever you're ready. And he just looked at me and he was
absolutely.
like, oh. I was like, yeah, don't underestimate me, jerk.
Yeah, I know. It's like we've been putting up with all this, sort of for decades. Now we're holding our own.
Well, and that's the thing is I almost never run into people like that, but I'm 6'1", so people tend to not assume I can't do things. They usually assume I do everything. And then when I'm like, hey, I need help lifting this, people are like, you're being lazy. I'm like, damn it, I still need help sometimes just because I'm big.
Yeah, but having a tall stature, you can sort of put you can be more commanding. People instantly take you seriously, and they won't mess with you. I mean, I'm only 5'6", so imagine I have to be a bit of a pocket rocket, to because they'll just look at me, oh, she's timid, she's dainty and all that, and it's like, no. It's like, don't get on the wrong side of me, because this little Miss Nice can get all nasty.
Oh, I believe it. You know what? I wish I would have met you. I was stationed in England for 4 years. I wish I would have met you back then, because you and I would have been really good friends. And anyone tries to mess with you, I would have shown up behind you and been like, you messing with my girl? And they'd be like, oh gosh, oh, she's huge. Be like, yeah, hi, go away. Leave her alone.
Or I could just walk around with a baseball bat.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I kind of did that when we had a pub crawl. We all dressed as characters. And I was the Riddler, and I had a giant cane with a question mark.
Oh, brilliant.
So this guy was too drunk, supposedly, and he kept brushing up against my friend's butt because she was dressed as Michelle Pfeiffer's Catwoman. And after the second time, his friends had to intervene with me because I was like, I'm about to shove this question mark the wrong way up somebody's behind. And they were like, you're American, aren't you? I went, oh yeah, I don't do this pacifist stuff. I'm very just aggressive. So if I were you, I'd keep him away from my friend. They're like, we're going to go to a different pub. Thank you. I was like, bye.
Oh, yeah, no, that's brilliant. I'm happy to go out for drinks with you anytime. Actually, I'm planning on coming to the US at some point, and I'll definitely make a point of coming to see you.
Please do. We will just tear
it up. We can dress up as Eyva.
Yes! We can each dress up as Eyva. I'll let you do this version, because that ain't going to be me. But, you could go out like that. That'll be fine. And I'll just be in like the armor behind you.
Maybe I'll wear like one of those like nude bodysuits that were actually covered. Yesterday we were going to the park, and there was this woman, and we were from far away. I couldn't tell whether she was actually wearing leggings or not, because they were nude colored. I was like, is she naked, or is she actually wearing? So yeah, I could do like,
It always worries me when people choose that for like an actual bottom without any like if you're cosplaying, okay.
Yeah,
but like,
exactly.
You're gonna go get milk. Like, put something on that doesn't look like your skin tone. I feel like that's. Yeah. Christopher C is absolutely right. TNT comes in small packages.
Oh, absolutely.
See?
Hey, that's a great slogan for a t-shirt. I may be arrested.
You'll be fine.
For inciting some kind of,
Yeah, the UK does get a little crazy with hate speech and slogans. Very happy that I don't live there. If they checked my Twitter, I would have been arrested a while ago. They'd have been like, I'm sorry, this is hateful rhetoric. And I was like, it's against other women being dumb. They're like, yeah, but They'd be like, oh, all right, well, I guess I'll go to jail then.
Oh, I know this. I mean, that's the thing, because I when I was doing the burlesque thing, and I was like, just really worried, are people going to get it? That it's more art than actual, like the way I approached it from a female perspective, where it's more art. It's cyberpunk burlesque. It's not another stripper and she's being objectified. She's actually in a scenario where she's trying to infiltrate this corrupt senator and get something from him. And
exactly.
So she is empowered. And so that's
the funny thing is, if you see her here and you're kind of like, oh, and then you see her down here and you go, oh, okay. Like she wasn't stripping because that's what she does on the side. Like this isn't a moonlighting gig for her. This is she's obviously some kind of agent, and she definitely was like, I'm getting stuff that I need, and this is the best way to do so.
I was actually watching Charlie's Angels, and I thought, because it starts off a bit similar to that, with was it Kristen, I forgot her name, Twilight Girl.
Mm-hmm. I know I'm bad with celebrities. I genuinely don't usually care.
So it was the same setup where she's all like, oh, and then she starts kicking ass,
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's a classic setup, though. It's the reason why female spies in history have always been so effective, because nobody expects them, and they're usually able to get into places that male spies can't, because men instantly draw suspicion, whereas women, they're like, oh, it's just a pretty girl, and like she's just gonna go have a good time, like good for that guy. And then the next thing you know, she slips some poison in his drink and he's dead. And yes, ideas. I was just gonna say this. It's so funny that you were concerned about burlesque. Martina Markota is a burlesque dancer here, and she has Lady Alchemy as a book.
Oh, fantastic.
Her whole book is about her character that she plays like on stage. It's all burlesque.
Oh, fantastic. I'll have a look at that then.
Yeah, that's probably something that you would enjoy, I am sure.
Absolutely. I mean, I got introduced to burlesque. It was one of my leaving dues, and the girls were like, what do you want to do? I was like, I don't know, surprise me.
That is a dangerous statement.
So then, it was I think it must have been about 10 girls, and we went to a burlesque club, and I was just, it was such an amazing night, and I just absolutely loved it. And I saw it as a whole new, I saw it as like a beautiful art form, and it was it was very sensual. It was celebrating a woman's body and not being apologetic, or anything of, sort of being a tease, and that we are, in a way, as women, empowered, because we have the power to tease heterosexual men. And hey, and the thing is, we are also, like, sometimes they say, like, a woman, she doesn't sometimes dress for a man. She dresses for herself, or she dresses for other women, because you have to keep set the level, sort of thing, and like,
exactly.
So yeah, no, I absolutely loved it. And then, looking at Dita Von Teese, I just, she's so tiny, but she looks like she could be a supermodel, and that's what I loved about it, that, she's not, you can be small and be celebrated as well, I am envious that you're all 6'1", though. Because I did actually
benefits and its drawbacks, trust me.
It's just, You know, because I remember going to the like these fashion shows, and I'm telling you, I was at London Fashion Week, and I was dressing these models, and I swear I felt so vertically challenged because my head, honestly, these models, I thought it was like it was like kind of like you're in the world of Avatar where everyone is like really tall and you're only you're just about coming up to their shoulder. And I'm just like, I feel so small. I think I know now how my sister feels because she's only 5 foot. So,
oh my goodness. I am a straight 1.5 feet barefoot taller than your sister.
And she plays basketball. Get that, you know?
Oh, she's probably a great point.
Yeah, she plays low. She plays to her strength. So if you're tall, yeah, exactly. If you're tall, there ain't no way you're gonna.
That's fair. I mean, as a tall person, I can attest it is very hard to get things that are low to the ground.
Yeah.
So usually if somebody, like if I want to tease somebody who's shorter than me, I'll put something up on a high shelf because they can't reach it. If they want to tease me, they just put it on the floor and then I just look at it and I'm like, oh, it's so low. like, yeah, I could reach it, but it's going to take me 5 minutes to get back up off the floor because my back and my knees, and all of my problems.
Oh, I'd be one of those people where, you know, it's in the library, it's all so quiet, and then you squat, and then your knees go click, click, and then everyone looks around like, who's the geriatric in here?
It's like, I don't know, they must have gone that way. You're just like
Who's suffering from the arthritis?
Exactly. Oh my goodness. Unhinged is demanding that we play the trailer.
I think he's fed up of us talking.
Yeah, he was like, yeah, let's do this.
Just get to the point.
No, trust me. We're sitting here talking about burlesque and everything, and we already had a bunch of people saying this is the best stream ever. Just straight off of that. So you know, don't worry about it.
Who would complain about girls talking about other naked girls?
Right? And in a congratulatory way, and like, it's so empowering. Like men everywhere just went, I could take my wife to that. And it's like, I mean, if your wife were near enough, maybe.
Absolutely. But yeah, no, I took a day out to a burlesque night, and it was like a combination of, you know, burlesque dancers, comedy acts, you know.
That'd be amazing.
It was, and you get like a dinner with it. So, and this was in London, and it was absolutely amazing night. Absolutely, so highly recommend it. Yes, guys, you can take your wives to it.
Seriously, as long as it's tasteful and not like burlesque and stripping, those aren't the same thing. So if you take to a burlesque, stripping, it depends on the quality of the place
it has to be burlesque, not a seedy.
Like that place that you go with the boys.
Yeah, exactly. Not the place. Yeah, exactly. I was going to say, there's that part in Breakfast at Tiffany's where Audrey Hepburn is in the club, and you know that is more burlesque than it is, and I absolutely love that part. You know, where she's just like, you know, pulls her sunglasses down, and it's like, do you think?
Oh
yeah. That's definitely love that.
All right, let's play this trailer because I'm so in love with this project and just the aesthetic. But then I started reading it and I was like, this is really close to kind of how the world is going now, which is terrifying.
Oh, absolutely, yes, oh, absolutely.
So we're gonna play the trailer. We're gonna show all of you wonderful people this gorgeous project. If it wants to play for me, there we go.
Eyva is a cyberpunk comic book series based on a love of 80s sci-fi and fantasy fiction. The story is set in the Ardent Nation, an upbeat, stylized technological utopia set in the 23rd century. However, all is not what it seems. Individuality and privacy are rare commodities that only the governing elite are privileged to. So imagine, if you will, social media becoming the governing body of a surviving nation. Everything about you and what you do since the day you were born is automatically streamed onto your timeline. This is then monitored by a totalitarian regime known as Mainframe. Mainframe's prime directive is to compete for technological advancement and for survival in a post-apocalyptic world. In the spirit of fighting cyber terrorism, people of the Ardent Nation are kept on a short leash through the use of surveillance implants. The message is simple: comply with Mainframe's standard behavior protocol or be rehabilitated. It's all about working as a collective for a common cause while suppressing any scope for individual thought and self-expression. Eyva is now complete and ready for publication. It's a labour of love that's been brought to life by the epic illustrative skills of Timothy Green II. It's an extraordinary journey, one of which we hope our readers will join us on.
Oh my gosh.
I could
So
see a lot of
good.
people saying it has an Aeon Flux vibe, and that's because the artist who did Eyva is Timothy Green, and he also did the graphic novel of Eyva for the film when it came out. So he was very much in tune with Aeon Flux, and you know, and I just loved the essence of her, and you know, but wanted to do kind of my story, you know, sort of with that vibe. You know, and yeah, you know, we pretty much did it. I mean, sort of in terms of like the graphic novel for Aeon Flux, they tamed her hair where it was just, because normally she's got these massive like curls. It's like a inverted horns or something.
Yeah.
And when they did the film, they tamed it into that sort of angular bob. And then when he did the novel, they were like, no, don't do it as the original, do it according to the film. And so it kind of like, it was almost like they tied his hands behind his back. So when I sort of did this project, I said, you know what, just knock yourself out, go do whatever you want to do with her hair. Do you want to do the Princess Leia Danish rolls, or
right, whatever
you know, whatever you want, just go nuts with her hair, you know, because it's a comic. You know, you want some drama going on with her hair. I
love what he did, because it's so angular, and it's so like, when I was trying to do this, right,
Yeah.
I was like, there's no way, like there's just no way. And while difficult, super fun. Oh my gosh, like I was like, dude, I would actually I might go out like this sometime. Like it's just fun.
Amazing. Yeah. Well, you know, because when you were like, oh, I'm just sorting out my cosplay outfit, I was like, okay, and I'm feeling underdressed now. And then when I saw it, I was like, oh my god.
Yeah,
it's amazing.
It's really fun to do, and it's so cool to see. Like I was like, oh, it's because she's sliding down a pole, and then I went to here and I went, well, that's just walking, so that is not it. That is just her hair is just crazy, and I love
absolutely
it.
She's just a hot mess.
But I love it so much because it's got
mess of Medusa curls.
Exactly, Medusa curls. That is the best way to explain it. That is so pretty. Okay, so let's go over your perks, because I really want people to go in and back this. And I have backed this twice. I've just decided I'm backing it a third time because I forgot about something that I wanted. And I'm gonna get that too. But let's go over your perks real quick.
Yes, so the featured one is basically you get the original comic. It's a 28 pages, so you get a little bit extra. And then you've got the variant, so that's kind of like a limited edition, which is exclusive to the Indiegogo campaign, and that's for £12. That will be $16 for you guys. The shipping is pretty low at the moment because I managed to get online prices. Whether that is true and they'll like keep to those prices, I don't know. But I'm sticking to my, I made a commitment. I'm going to stick with it, and then address it later on. I may have subsidized the shipping.
Goodness, yeah, because I'm telling you right now, it's what I want to say. It's about $6 shipping, which I do not think is anywhere near enough, sweetheart.
It's like, please feel free to take advantage of my lack of business prowess.
I will say, if possible, put all of mine together and save yourself on shipping. If it will save you on shipping, because I actually just had before this, I had a beautiful girl from Germany on, and she was saying the reason that she didn't offer, so her book she did is hardcover, which is already way more expensive.
Oh wow!
And she has 180 pages, which is really a big book. And this was book 2. And so she was like, well, I don't offer book 1 in the campaign because when I priced it out, it was cheaper for me to ship it to you separately than for me to ship you book 1 and 2 together.
Oh,
so she did them separate. And she's like, if you want book 1, it's on my store. You can go buy it over here. It saves me in shipping and it saves you in prices. So that's where she went with it. And I was like, that's interesting. I didn't consider that, but international shipping is so weird and finicky. I can ship an 11x17 anywhere in the States for about $6. I ship it to the UK or to Canada. I shipped one to Canada.
Yeah.
Do you know how much that cost me? That was $30 to ship a 11x17 print to Canada.
Yeah.
And I was like,
but it's only just down the road.
I could drive it across the border. Are you kidding me? And they were like, $30. I was like,
yeah. We'll see how it goes. I mean, what I'll do is I'm going to ship everything out, and then I'll get a realistic idea of how much everything is going to cost. So, and then I will sort of basically redo all the tiers with the correct shipping prices. So, yeah.
Okay. So everyone who's getting in now, you're getting the good deal.
Yes. Yes, you're getting a good deal. Definitely.
Oh my goodness.
Don't buy it now. Wait until next month when the shipping costs are more expensive.
Oh my goodness. I don't think that's going to work for selling next month, but that might actually work for selling right now.
Yeah, it's reverse psychology.
Exactly. Do not back this now.
Yeah,
back it when I can charge you more for shipping. And everyone's
absolutely.
like,
yeah.
I'll just back now. Like, backing now sounds better.
Yeah, exactly. If you wait next month, it'll cost you a whole lot more. So. I'll just say it how it is.
Yeah, that's fair. That's, you know what, we like people that are upfront around here, and we definitely want to make sure that you are not going into the red in this project, which you might be, but
I mean, to be honest with you, people who do this, they have to do it out of love, because when you start off, you are in the red, and you have to really stick at it before you can even think about breaking even, So especially because I didn't illustrate it, I had to pay Timothy to do it, so it's cost. As a writer, it will cost more than if I was. I wish I was an illustrator, or also, I'd have a bigger smile on my face.
Yeah, I understand that too. As a writer that does not have good enough artistic inclination, I'm like, man, I have all these great stories, but I'm also broke. Can't hire an artist that I would desperately need to make these worthwhile for other people. David, thank you for backing. He says already backed it a while ago, as did Unhinged. You guys are awesome.
Thank you, David. Thank you. And
I backed it a while ago, and then I backed it again, and I'm gonna back it another time, and I'll show you why when we get there. Because these tiers are amazing. So we did have a question. Do you get the variant with the? I don't know what tier you were talking about. It's in Great British Pounds, but it's not. That's not a tier. So you have this one, the feature tier, that has the original and the variant.
Yeah, and also I think I'm just trying to think that there is, if you go for the other tiers, I think you can still get the variant as an add-on.
Okay.
Yeah, but so if you just want a digital download, then that's available for £2 or $3. And then underneath, that's the comic, the hard copy, just on its own. Then underneath is you can get, so if you want both the comic and the digital, it's £5, so you get like a discount on that. And then sort of the variant on its own is
So pretty.
So that's $12.
Yep.
And then so there's a bundle where you can get these like art, they're kind of postcards, but you can also use them as like little art prints or
this is
like
why I'm
I
backing
do
again.
I use my postcards as bookmarkers.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
And this one right here for $20. This is why I'm backing you again, because I backed for because I couldn't decide which one, and I wanted to make sure that Cyborg Valkyrie did not miss out on this. So I was like, well, Side's gonna want both covers because they're beautiful. And so I got both covers twice, and then I was like, oh, I forgot about the postcards. I was like, I'll just back again. It'll be fine. So.
Oh no! Thank you for your support. Really appreciate it. I mean, like I said, so I absolutely love Timothy's work, and it was just, I knew from day one that he was the person, to go with, because it just, everything that was in my head, he was able to illustrate it, and it was just like I wanted somebody where you could see her soul, that you could see she's a person rather than just an illustration.
Exactly.
So yeah.
And so Past Master Dan, who was asking, that's Timothy Green.
Yeah, Timothy Green the second. You can find his work. He's on Facebook and Instagram, also DeviantArt as well. You can see his work there. He's just his work is because he used to work for Marvel. He's also worked for Dark Horse and DC.
Yep.
Also Disney. He's worked on Lion King. So he kind of the accompanying graphic novel. So he has done a lot of work. He actually has a credit on, because he worked on Star-Lord before they made Guardians of the Galaxy.
Oh, wow.
So at the end of the film, there's like, they do like with special thanks to Marvel Studios, and then his name is on the same line as Stan Lee. So, in all the years that I've known him, he's such a modest guy and humble. He just never mentioned it until I was at the supermarket the other day, and I said, somebody said you worked on Guardians of the Galaxy before it became a film. He's like, yeah, I did Star Wars.
Oh, yeah, I guess I did that,
Oh, yeah, and just, and they even gave me like a credit, at the end of the film. I was like, what? You're just telling me this now?
Sir, I feel like there are
like,
things
why
that
is it not plastered all over your Facebook page?
Oh, that's
so
so
I had
great.
So I actually had to rent the movie and take a picture with my phone.
Oh, that's hilarious. Unhinged Entertainment, thank you for the $2. You're amazing, Jason. He says the most expensive tier is the variant in that. We will get there. We will get there. Take a breath. We're almost there. Oh my goodness. Okay. Retailers bundle. So you get 5 copies. So if you have 5 friends.
Yes. So it's 5 copies for the price of 4.
Nice.
And you only get to pay shipping once.
I see. Perfect. And Jason, calm yourself, child. We will get to your answer. I promise. I love Jason. So you have this really awesome behind the scenes bundle.
Oh yes, that's I'm actually putting that together at the moment. So basically, it's a timeline of all the emails that were passed from me to Timothy, and they're amazing because like they're back in May the 23rd, 2016. I sent him a message, and I told him, I'm a big fan of Eon Flux, love your work. Is there any chance, a hope in hell, that you can actually illustrate for me or know of somebody? And he's like, yeah, sure. It's sort of, what's your project about? So And then, you know, you can see sort of the sketches of how the whole comic and the characters and the location and the gadgets and everything was developed. So that's all going to be put in a PDF. Also, because Eyva started off as a TV screenplay, I've included that script with it. It's the first act of the pilot. That's 16 pages long. So far, I'm on like I've got 48 pages. so it's you know, I mean, I did think about printing it, but it is it's too chunky to print, and I wanted to keep the costs low as possible. Maybe in future, if people do actually want to buy it, you know, and it'll be like signed or something, then I can offer that at a later date, you know. But for now,
it would be really cool if when you do like Eyva 2, if you ended up doing a collected edition that had Eyva 1, 2, and then that bundle in the back with a square binding, and charge a premium for it. But you know,
I could do that, definitely, absolutely. Because I mean, I sort of, as soon as I get all this shipped off, then I'm gonna start working on issue 2. I mean, we're not fully funded for issue 2, but I'm really keen on actually just taking whatever funds I've got, you know, just to sort of you know, give it, you know, put it into the next issue. I'm not, you know, it's fine. I'm not, you know, like at the end of the day, I invested a lot of money into it, and I just want to keep doing it because I'm just having too much fun.
Well, that's so good to hear.
Yeah, it's kind of like, it is I mean, as my dad would say, it's a good hobby to have because you actually get something back in return.
Right? Exactly.
Normally, he actually has a little plane that he flies. I think it's a 2-seater. But yeah, it's an expensive hobby, and he doesn't get any money back from it. But at least, you know, with comics, you do get a little bit back. You know, so yeah.
Exactly. I mean, that's kind of, you know, me doing all of these streams, and then every time somebody decides that they're going to super chat, I'm like, oh, good, I can have slightly better cosplay in the future. It all goes to that, or it's going to go back to backing more projects. Like those are the two things it's going to go to.
Yeah, exactly. It's kind of, it funds itself, hopefully.
We have people that say you need to get on Ethan's stream, and you will absolutely hit the 5K numbers. If we got you on Fraga's stream, that'd be amazing. I think that Fraga would really love your personality too, for sure.
Oh, brilliant. Thank you.
All right, so continuing down the phenomenal perk road, we've got a drawstring bag.
Yes, well, I thought, you know, I was trying to find things that are lightweight, that little keepsakes, and I thought, oh, it'd be nice to have a little bag, a drawstring bag that you can put all your, you know, your goodies in, or, you know, like, it looks cool. You know, it's you can put your lunch in there, and it's a conversation starter.
I think it's beautiful, and I honestly, I'm going to talk to you. So I've got, everybody knows this, I love swag and I love merch. We need to talk pins, patches, and t-shirts, because those are well, we will talk. Maybe not this campaign, but for Eyva too.
I initially, when I was thinking about all the little perks, I went crazy. I was like, yeah, stickers, badges, t-shirts, and Timothy's like, whoa, you're going to spend all your money on the merchandise. You're not going to have any money for the next issue. I was like, he's just calm down. Yeah, so I got reined in.
William C, thank you. Just back number 319. You guys are amazing. Aurora Texas says he backed a while ago. I you know what? I love all of these people. They're amazing.
Yeah, no, you've got a great, you know, good response, great fans. I can see all the commentary here. It's quite entertaining. I try not to smirk.
You know, I do all the time, and I usually put the inappropriate stuff up on the campaign or up on the screen because there's nobody here to stop me. So that's what you get, Cy, for not being here.
Yeah, take advantage of the lack of censorship while you can.
You know, right? And yeah, Unhinged knows I do feed off patches. So to explain the patch thing, I have jackets that I had made when we were getting close to 1K, and I'm putting patches of all these indie comics and pins of all these indie comics that I've backed, and we're just going to cover them. They're going to be like the writer jackets and stuff like that.
Oh, fantastic.
I'm super excited.
So basically you want me to make a patch?
I do, but we'll talk because I want you to not go broke from shipping first.
Well, see, I'll actually find out how much these patches will cost and what the minimums are, because I could be tempted into that.
I might also have a connection for you. Just throwing that out there.
You might have a
connection.
Oh,
I got a patch guy.
Oh, you got a patch guy.
I got a patch guy. We'll work it out. Even if it was he ships to me and I ship to you to save on shipping or whatever, we'll figure it out. I don't care.
All right,
We'll
talk.
We'll talk. As everyone who's ever watched this show knows what that means. When I say we'll talk, that means I'm going to shill real hard for something that I really want on a campaign. Oh my gosh. Wolverine says, smirk away, feel free, it displays character. William likes your smirking. He says it's good.
Oh, my jaw is starting to hurt from the amount of laughing.
Sorry, have that effect on people sometimes. Pastor Dan, I'm not even going to dignify that with a response. We all know that everyone in this chat is always inappropriate, and it's fine.
Yeah.
Antonio, thank you for the $5. You're amazing. A few shekels towards the cosplay fund and hiring an artist for your own project. I appreciate you very much, sir. Hopefully in 2021, we'll be moving forward on some stuff. It'll be amazing. And yes, Wolverine, I do. I have a dealer, and Timothy,
you have a patch dealer.
I do. And the best part is his name is Tony, okay? So you just
Tony.
Okay. How this works around here. He messaged me and he was like, regards, Tony. And I went, uh-oh. I'm never going to say that name right now. I'm always going to say it with an accent.
I know.
Terrible.
My late husband was Italian. So he had a bit of an Italian accent.
It's so good. It's so good.
No, bless him. I think because in Italian, what is it? Fingers and toes are the same thing. They're mani, all right? Or like, he was like, what's that on your feet then? Are they not fingers? I was like, no, they're toes. He's like, what toes? It's like, what toes? He was like saying it with a really posh accent,
You're like,
it's like, okay. No, it's toes.
They're just toes.
Toes.
Toes. You're like, okay, go have some high tea with the queen now. I don't know what you're doing.
Yeah, and if you see him, he's like, I'm trying to be a cool Italian, like. It's like in your
Oh, that's so funny. So Wolverine says it'd be even cooler if his name was literally Tony, okay?
Tony, okay.
And yes, Tatsunami, we did get monetized. Thank you. It's super, super amazing. Humi says 2 girls talking. This isn't good. This has been my entire day. I got to talk with a beautiful German, and now I get to talk with a beautiful Brit, and I'm just
thank you.
super happy that I have these beautiful women on my channel. So I found the beautiful girls, and screw all of you.
It's when 2 girls talk, it means it's trouble.
Exactly. That is
trouble
very
is
true.
Coming. Trouble is a brewing.
Jason, it has not been 72 minutes since you asked your question, sir. We are getting there, I promise. Let's continue.
I'm curious, what question is it?
His question was, do you get the variant with the most expensive tier? And so here we are there.
Oh, right. I think it's you can get it as an add-on because I added it later on.
Okay.
So yes, once you select it, it will ask you if you would like the variant as well. Let me check now.
Well, we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out together because that's what we do here on Red Valkyrie is we support one another and we figure shit out because we don't always pay attention right away.
I do, because I respond to requests basically, and I'm just checking now.
Absolutely, and while you are checking, Tatsunami, thank you for the Swiss franc $5 super sticker. That is the cutest little punchy fox cat. I'm not entirely sure what that is, but it's adorable and I love it. And I think it's adorable. So thank you so much. Always appreciate all you guys. You're amazing. William C says, Tony, okay, is that a character in Johnny Phantasm? Hopefully we'll be finding out soon. I'm trying to get them on the show for Johnny Phantasm 1985, the best year, my birth year, just saying.
Yeah. Yes, you do get the variant, but it's an add-on.
Okay.
But it's a small add-on. It's like discounted.
Okay. That's not bad. So for this tier, for the original inked.
Yeah, so it's all the pages from the comic. They do have Timothy Green's like little. I think they are signed. They've got his initials on it.
Okay.
So it's basically you get all those goodies plus a page from the comic, which is an original artwork.
Oh, that's fantastic. Oh, and you get the bags. You can put your lunch in the bag with your postcards.
Yes, and you get your lunch bag as well.
I love it. That is so great.
Or whatever you want to put in it.
That's
your laundry,
Oh, that's so good.
It's an A4. It's an A4 size, so it's slightly bigger. I mean, I think it's like this size sort of thing.
Okay.
Oh, hello.
There you go. All right. I love it. Okay. I am scrolling all the way back up and I am going to re-share my screen. And we're at 6767. What a nice number. 6767 with 268 backers. And I think that this number has to have gone up. 272. You've gotten 4 backers.
Fantastic.
$6,942. That is amazing. You guys are so wonderful. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Jason, thank you for your undying patience while we got to your question. And yes, Past Master Dan, we did get to Jason's question finally, as he will tell you.
I'm so sorry, Jason. I'm so sorry. We took ages to answer your question. I mean,
it's okay. It was anticipation for him.
I thought maybe you might self-combust if we waited any longer.
Right? That is very true. You know what? And Wolverine says that he is so disappointed it didn't go up to 69.69 on the refresh. Wolverine, I believe that you do have the ability to alter that. If you back again, there's a good chance that we would hit 69.69. I'm just throwing it out there. Oh my goodness. And we've got Humi who says that they want me to invite you back. I will tell you right now, ma'am. So you are the writer, correct?
I am the writer. I also did the creative direction for it. Fantastic. And Timothy Green II did the illustration, and he put up with me for 4 years.
Well, I think what we need to do is we need to try and see if at some point in time we can get you on our Writing Pros show, which is actually something that we do every Sunday at 10 p.m. Eastern. So I know it's going to be quite late for you.
That's fine. I'm used to it now.
You're just like, I stay up all the time and I just don't sleep anymore. That's what I do. If you ever want, I mean, we're doing a show tonight. You are perfectly welcome to come on. You are always welcome on Red Valkyrie because you are such a joy.
Oh, thank you. You're a absolute joy as well. And you've inspired me.
Yay! That's what I love to do. Jason says that is a steal for original art. And it's fault I blame Shae, and that is fine. I will take the blame for taking forever to answer your question because I was having a good conversation, damn it. You can just wait, sir. And Antonio wants to know, is Anas Eskander an alias like Elector Fencer?
No, it's actually more...
I'm not trying to dox people on this show, Antonio or Antoine, or I'm sorry.
I
said your name wrong.
No. So Anas Eskander is basically, my parents are originally from Iraq and I was born in Baghdad, and we moved to the UK when I was about 3 years old. So, but I'm pretty much anglicized now with a very peculiar name. So that's me.
Yeah, you know what? I like it. So my real name is not Shae, that's my nickname. My first name is Shalice, and my
That's
parents,
a beautiful name.
thank you. They sounded it out. It's Chalice with a French accent, so my parents named me Fancy Cup. And my dad is very offended every time I say that. And he's like, "We did not name you Fancy Cup." And I was like, "You named me Chalice. That is a chalice is a fancy cup, Dad. It's okay. It's also the goblet of life. It's fine."
Oh no!
That ends up the nickname on my volleyball jerseys. It says Fancy Cup across the back of it.
That's
because
brilliant.
I was like, it's too funny. It's either Fancy Cup or it's Shea Butter, but it's spelled this way. And then everyone's like, it's spelled wrong. And I was like, it's not, because that's my nickname. It was like, see, if you knew me, then you wouldn't be trying to gotcha with me.
Yeah, no, my sister on her basketball, I think on her basketball patch, because she's 5 foot and she plays, she plays basketball, so she's called her nickname Shorty Iraqi. So yeah, it's cool having all these nicknames for it.
Oh my goodness. We had questions. We had all these questions. I love that we have you on and everybody's just throwing them all out. Jason wants to know, what was your initial spark to come up with this story?
I think because my dad was working out in where he was working in Saudi during the Desert Storm War, and I lived there for like 6 years, and having lived in the UK like most of my life, I found it really difficult with the restrictive society, especially towards women. And like I did a lot of reading. There was I spent my summers just reading because I just wanted to sort of escape from it. And I came up with this idea of a society where it's so you're watched and you're restricted, and then I wanted to break away from kind of the restrictions of covering up. Hence, you have like practically naked women. I think it was the I can't even say it now. It was. Yes, that's it. From having to cover up, I was like, I'm gonna get naked.
You know what though? That makes so much sense. So I've done a lot of study with the Middle East and like Afghanistan and Iran and Iraq and all of that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
It's really hard to be like a modern day woman in those countries. That is not a thing. It's difficult.
It is. I mean, now it's a lot better than what it was like, in the 90s. In the 90s, it was. I mean, you couldn't go into a video if you want to rent a video, you can't go into the video shop. If you want to go out to the mall, you can't walk around by yourself. You have to have a chaperone. Your 7-year-old son or 7-year-old brother could be your chaperone. Which is just mental. Like
the 7-year-old is what's best for me. Thanks. This is wonderful.
Like this. My baby brother is my chaperone. So funny. And I growing up, I absolutely loved sci-fi. So I was watching, Star Trek, Next Generation, Deep Space Nine, Voyager. I was also watching Quantum Leap. When I was a kid, I was watching Battlestar Galactica. Tron is one of my favorite films, the original. And I mean, Tron Legacy was good, but I still, I think because in the 80s, for that time, it was so out there. Also Blade Runner, I just loved those worlds, and I wanted to live in those worlds. And especially, I mean, like if you look at Back to the Future, when they did like the future in like 2015, I think it was, and you think, I want a hoverboard, I want a car that flies. And then when we get to 2015, it's like, it is such a disappointment.
Oh, and then they tried, they're like, we have hoverboards, and they're like, it has a wheel. That's not a hoverboard. It doesn't hover. And they're like, it's like it hovers. I'm like, no. And did you see when they tried the self-lacing Nikes and the complete shit that turned into? And they were like, yeah, we don't have that technology. We were wrong.
Yeah. But it was like such a cool future. You wanted to live in it. And that's kind of why I wanted to sort of write a story within this stylized world that was just, it's pure escapism. It's just fun, like I think when I watch, for instance, Star Trek, the thing which I like most is when they're like out in their little world, you know, where everything's hunky-dory, and you know, it's like, because it's all the gadgets and things like that, you know. And I think it was just me sort of self-indulging.
Well, everybody here has nothing but love. Froggy says, I didn't hear Red Dwarf.
Yeah, so
difficult.
I think because at the time when I was watching these, I was in Saudi, and we didn't have Red Dwarf. It was only when I came back to the UK that I came across Red Dwarf. But yeah, Red Dwarf is hilarious, you know.
Yeah, exactly, right. Oh, and I love this. Look, Anna's is talking some serious geek. Love it. Everybody is just now in love with you completely. Jason, he says he loves you.
Oh, thank you.
Wolverine says you have great taste in shows and movies.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, no, I mean, when what was it, when they did a sort of Star Trek Enterprise, and they had, is it Scott Bakula? I'm trying to remember his name, from Quantum Leap. He was in it, and I was like, you know, like I was just like,
oh, that's so funny. And you have
arrived.
Pops Van Zant says you're one of their heroines.
Oh yes,
she brought back the Aeon Flux style. Love her concept so much. I agree. That's why I've backed multiple times. I think you should too. Please back this beautiful, beautiful book. It's just amazing, and it's so nice to see, because it's just such a kind of throwback. You know what I mean? Like, this is like the 80s and 90s. This is absolutely.
Yeah,
and I mean, love it.
Do you know, it wasn't just a sci-fi. I mean, I remember when we had Fame and Flashdance, and then there was Dirty Dancing, and I wanted to incorporate dance, you know, sort of. I mean, we did have, you know, like you do have sometimes a bit of you know, dance in the sci-fis, but you know, I really wanted to get into it and have it from a sort of more of a female perspective, so that there was a more of a kind of like an attention to detail towards the dance, rather than just having it, you know, let's do a stripper scene, you know, sort of scenario. I mean, like, you know, like in Blade Runner, when you do have that moment where he's in the club, and one of the, you know, the is it Skins, you know, sort of, she was a stripper on it with her snake, and it touched upon it, but I really wanted to kind of have it, embrace it, and almost like it could be a musical if they
it seems
Eyva
very
the musical.
right. It seems really, but the thing is, there's so much flow and there's so much passion in all of the panels that you have. And just like Tony said, I think one of the errors that many of these budding comic authors make is they don't create a world that you would really want to visit. Even Dark Tales must have some hope. I feel like your world, I want to see. I don't want to live there because it sounds bad. Because I don't want things controlling me. I got enough of that in this reality. But it's so interesting to see.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, I didn't want to create another dystopian world, because I mean, you know, I've read. I mean, I've watched 1984. I've read loads of you know, sort of stories with dystopian worlds, and you kind of think, you know, it's being done, and I didn't want to do another sort of Mad Max, you know, and so I wanted something where, you know, you'd actually want to live there, even with its little, you know, issues. But at the same time, you have a little bit of hope, because you see this character, she's fighting back. She's not going to let this government control her. She's still going to, you know, sing to her own tune, you know, and do what she thinks is right, you know. And it's all about having the courage of your convictions to follow your own moral compass, rather than somebody telling you what's right or wrong, you know.
Exactly. Jason wants to know, how many books did you have written or planned out? You said you had 4. Yes.
So basically, I wrote a whole. I mean, I've got a plan. I was going to do like a trilogy of 3 films, and then I turned I wrote the TV pilot, which has got about five acts. So that's like basically 5 comics already written. The first one's already published. you know, it's there's so much material that I can use, and you know, there could potentially, you could even do spin-offs with the amount of material I've got. But you know, for now, it's kind of one thing at a time, you know, and just focus on her story. And you know, the reason why she's so passionate about trying to find a cure for this disease, which you will find out later when you meet a whole new set of characters. And it will be, you know, you've got three very, very strong worlds, and you know, you've got the Ardent Imperium is where she lives, and then you've got the faction, the rebellion, and they are so anti-technology. They're kind of like naturists, you know, and it's, the colors are completely different. It's all very natural and green, and they will live in gorgeous tree houses. And then on the completely opposite to that on the spectrum is that you have the Draeris, which is, they are so heavily implanted. They just, you know, they're all like walking cyborgs now from the amount of implants, and kind of they've just gone overboard with the technology. But and they're kind of very ruthless, you know, and they just want power and to take over. And there is also the element of being able to they're trading with other worlds. So, you know, there's also that element as well. There's so much material.
I love hearing it though. That's so amazing to hear just your passion behind it. I've been asked this a couple of times, so I'm going to bring it back up. You were at 69.42.
Are they trying to get it to 69.69?
No, we went past it. We're at $7,094. That is amazing. So for people who might have missed, because we've got some really amazing stuff right here I wanted to show. This is your print that you're doing, correct?
Yes, I'm actually sending that out as this kind of like a little thank you. So it's a little freebie in addition to it's the, for all the the hard copy bundles, you get that little print to say thank you. It was one of the first sketches that Timothy came up with for her character, and I just went back to her. I said, you know, can you like ink it and color it up? And when he brought it back, I was like, whoa, she's got some serious jugs on her.
Right? I like, okay, girl, okay. It's like, all right.
I was just like, I'm just thinking, a girl that skinny don't normally have that bigger jug.
You know, I have seen some though, so never say never.
So naturally well endowed then.
Right? And so here's another thing, and I don't think that you and I have actually talked about that just yet, but you had this really awesome giveaway for this amazing bag that happened on Geek Insider.
Yes.
By complete and utter coincidence.
Yeah.
I was the winner.
Oh, fantastic.
I was like, this is such a great project. Oh, let's throw my hat in the ring. And then I got a message back and he was like, congratulations, you won the raffle. And I went, you gotta be kidding me. I'm having her on my show.
I didn't, you know, like because they said to me, oh, do you want to come on the show for a bit just so we can announce them? And I said, yeah, sure. But then when it happened, so I didn't get enough of a warning. And I was busy digging up my garden. So I missed it. Oh, but yeah, no, congratulations. It couldn't have gone to a nicer person.
Thank you. I found out and I was like, I don't even know what to say anymore.
That's just hilarious. I would personally thank Meredith.
I think that I typed so fast, I sent back an email just riddled with typos and then went, what I meant to say was this. Sorry, I got really excited. But yeah, I thought that was hilarious because I was just like, I'm actually having her on my show. But this is such a beautiful piece and such a beautiful, beautiful comic. And I'm so happy I was able to get you on. Like I saw you a little bit on their show when I was kind of seeing, okay, you know, is this somebody I'm going to reach out to or whatever? And I started listening to you talk and I was like, that's my kind of girl. I think I'm going to really love her.
I tell you, I haven't smiled so much. My jaw is just like like fixed in this position. I'm actually aching. I think I may need to go down and drink some wine just to numb the pain.
You know what? I highly encourage that. You go down and have yourself some wine when we're done from here. Pops and Zant wanted to know, who is your favorite music and who would you have do a theme song for Eyva?
Sort of favorite music. I like all kinds of music actually. So like I can, like I was into, I can do sort of like hard rock, like, Metallica and sort of Guns N' Roses and all those. That's kind of who I remember when I was, a teenager growing up, and this was coming into fruition. And then sort of when I did my degree at Manchester, I got into the Manchester music scene. So you had the likes of Oasis, New Order, then you had like Stone Roses, Rolling Stones, kind
you
of.
are my girl, seriously. Yeah. You're like geeky. You're like, yeah, and I like this.
Division, I've got the lyrics of "Love Will Tear Us Apart," sort of on my wall down in the living room, and it's kind of that era, And I've been to a Happy Mondays concert. And like in terms of like, sort of the theme music, I mean, I really love this band called Delphic, and it's like electro sort of dance music sort of thing. And it is very in keeping with the whole sort of sci-fi kind of, like futuristic feel. I completely forgot Timothy, as well as being talented in the, sort of illustration department. He also has a synthesizer, and he comes up with his own little tunes. And the other day he actually worked out the theme tune to Stranger Things. And I was just like, my God. So I said to him, next time I do a video, instead of having to buy a sound block, you are doing the music for the video. So he is absolutely brilliant, and I'd like to feature more of his. I mean, he's so multi-talented. So yeah, but that's the kind. Hopefully that answers your question.
I think that it does. Man, we've got so many people in the chat that are just. We had where did it go? Somebody had said something about you weren't going anywhere for a long while.
Somebody's written Joy Division ? Exclamation mark.
Oh my gosh, you guys are so right here. Jason says she ain't going nowhere for a long time. Tony says he could use some wine too, just because. Jason wants to know, do you like Tool?
Tool. What is it? Tool.
Mm-hmm.
What's Tool?
Oh, it's a band.
Oh right, sorry. Is it an American band?
Yeah.
No, I'm not familiar. Sorry.
No,
I'll look them up.
You're fine. I have a Tool t-shirt. I feel like it would be up your alley a little bit. It's a wrench on the back, but it has two basically it's a giant dick on the back. The way that they did this, it's like two nuts and a wrench.
That's perfect.
It's hilarious, and I definitely wear it. It just says Tool across the front and has that on the back with no other explanation. I think it's hilarious.
What's Tool? Good answer. I approve.
Yeah, Wolverine's like no. And I gotta say, Bob, I love that you put ABBA in here because it's both awesome and horrifically terrible. And I definitely did not listen to it on repeat as a child. Yeah, I absolutely did. It was horrible. What else did we have? We had, oh goodness, where'd it go? Right here. Was the movie Demolition Man an influence?
Demolition Man. Such a long time. Didn't it have what's his name? I mean, was it Sylvester Stallone? I remember Sting doing the song for it, and I'm trying to think what his name was. Was it Wesley Snipes? Was it that?
I am so
no. I'll tell you who was what the inspiration. I mean the films that I love are Blade Runner, Gattaca. Mm-hmm. I love Fight Club. Okay, Fight Club. I have to say, Fight Club is just genius in terms of the way they incorporate those little cuts in it, and you don't realize it until they, sort of tell you at the end. And then when you watch it now, you can pick up on the little glitches, but it's so good. And it's just the wrong time for it when it came out. If it came out any other time, it would have actually been just huge. And then sort of what else? In terms of, Tron, again, it's just, I think it's the 80s sci-fi stuff. Even the funny thing is, I know I'll bring this, Xanadu. Does anybody remember Xanadu with Olivia Newton-John? And it was roller skates.
I have 1,000% heard of it, but I don't remember ever actually seeing it.
It was kind of like a roller skating movie. And I remember when I was a kid, like I think it was on Fridays, and we were kind of the young kids, and we thought we were really cool. And it was before the teenagers would get in, so we had an hour to just go around the little sort of, it's a hall, and they do the disco lights and everything. So we were there, on our roller skates. So that was kind of one of the films, because it was so colorful and vibrant. Mm-hmm. So now everyone's going to look at Xanadu and think, what is she thinking?
You have 3 people who remember it for sure.
I'm showing my age now.
Chris said Pastmaster Dan said unfortunately.
It's not a brilliant movie, but it was just one of those kind of happy-go-lucky. You just wanted to escape.
Tony wanted to know, have you seen Blade Runner 2049?
I did, and I liked, that there was some like really strong sort of female characters in it, and I wasn't keen on the female villain. I thought she was a bit, a little bit cliche, or maybe I just wanted something a little bit more sort of unique about her.
Right.
But other than that, I thought it was good. I think. I did. What's the word? I did like it. There were some things where I was just like nitpicking, sort of like, for instance, the statues, and they had like the shoes, and it reminded me of Jessica Rabbit's shoes when they should have been a bit more sexier. I was just like little details, things like that. But
I think I ended up staying away from it because I was like, but I love the original so much that I don't feel like you're not ever going to top the Tears in the Rain monologue. That's never going to be topped. Even when they took Blade Runner and they did the recut where they made them refilm and did the voiceover at the end. Yeah. Like that Blade Runner doesn't exist for me.
No, because
I can't.
You don't want somebody explaining it.
No, and it took away all of the punch. It was like having that be one of the final scenes, and then you have these two and they're running off together, and you're like, they know that they're on borrowed time, and it doesn't matter. And then like ending it there was perfect, and then all this explanation that they did at the end, I just ignored the crap out of it and never watched that version because it ruined it. It took all the beauty and majesty and just like, let's over-explain it like we do with everything else in movies nowadays.
I think with Blade Runner 2049, I think they just thought, oh, we're going to make it huge and make it big. And you could see that they were just trying too hard. And what you need
That's what I heard.
And what you need is a writer who just kind of like takes the essence of the original, what it's about, and keeps it nice and simple and true to its rawness. It was just too clean, and I think and it was just too long, and I hate it when it's like, listen, physically we can only sit in our seats for 1 hour 45 minutes. Please do not make films longer than 1 hour 45 minutes, because that's when my bum starts to twitch, and I want to move, Exactly. It's like, you're not going to make it any better by adding another hour onto it. In fact, it's going to, you're entering the turkey zone, I was very much into Twilight Zone and Outer Limits while I'm
Yes. Oh, girl, why are we not best friends? Oh, God, we're not BFFs.
The outer. I still, to this day, have a fear of looking out the window in the plane. Just thinking, was it John Lithgow in the Gremlin?
Exactly. Death Metal Heroes says they used to have an intermission for movies that long. I remember that, and that was nice. They stopped doing that.
Yeah, I remember the intermissions. Yeah,
So nice. They'd be like, "Hey, everyone, you probably need to pee by now. You've probably eaten all your popcorn." I was like, "All of these things, yes, thank you." Go get more popcorn and concessions and go potty and.
I went to see It 4D, and this is when you sit in the seat and it kind of moves around, vibrates, and it kind of blows air, whoosh, whoosh, and all that. Yeah. And that was fun. I really enjoyed that. You know, I did make a lot of squeaky noises, and my brother was thoroughly embarrassed.
I'm sure. You know what? Who cares? It was entertaining for you.
And the great thing is they warn you, do not take any hot drinks in there, and because this guaranteed it's going to get sprayed.
Oh goodness. Ideas wants to know, how long will the in-demand store be open?
So I think as long as there is a demand for it, and so normally I think sort of the policy is, if there's no activity for 6 months, then it will automatically close. So I'm just going to keep it on there for as long as I need to keep it on. If I find another outlet for it, then, you know, sort of, then I'll have like my own website and then sort of direct people as to where they can get it from. I'm also looking into, because of the whole shipping cost things, and the majority of the people buying the comic are based in the US. So there is sort of, talks, into looking into someone who can actually distribute it for me directly in the US. And that will just make everyone's lives easier. So that's sort of something to come.
We'll talk. Like I said, I know a lot of people, so we'll talk and we'll see if we can't come up with a good solution for you. Because I definitely don't want to see you get screwed over with shipping. Because you're such a lovely person.
Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, I mean, I have to say thank you to everyone who supported the campaign. I put this on there not knowing what to expect, and I've had such a warm welcome, and I've entered into this whole new world that I didn't even know existed. So it's just been a really pleasant surprise, and I just kind of just got rolling with it, really, And I'm absolutely loving the cosplay outfits.
Well, thank you. I'm just happy that I was able to get something even remotely close, because
you've done such a brilliant job, I have to say.
Thank you. I tried so very hard. Okay, so we're going to do one more look at the campaign. You were at $7,094 with 272 backers. Now you are, good heavens, $7,113 US and 273 backers. Girl, you are killing it.
Oh, brilliant. Thank you.
Crushing this campaign. This is so awesome.
I have you to thank for this, I have to say.
No,
and all your fans, yeah.
I show them the good stuff because I enjoy it, and I want to make sure that people not only fund but fund well. Because if you fund well, you're more likely to make more. And if I like your stuff, I absolutely want to see you succeed, and I want more from you. And this is beautiful. So this is what I want. We've got a couple of questions. So Bob wants to know, what is the postage for Britain?
What is the postage for Britain? It depends on which tier he's going for, but it's between £2 to £4, I think.
That is very inexpensive.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But this is Royal Mail online prices. So I don't know what that means, but I do know if I went into the shop, the post office, they'll give me a whole other price. They'll probably be double.
Yeah, probably. See if you can't rustle them down with the quote from online.
Yeah, I need to find out what exactly. I mean, because if it's online, so am I supposed to do this all online and then get the sort of the cheaper prices? So we'll see.
Well, we will see if we can't help you out there for sure. Unhinged Entertainment. I know this doesn't look like a question, but I promise you it is. It's just a question he asks every time. If you were a tree, what tree would you be and why?
If I was a tree, I'm just thinking. I love trees, and I've got four trees in my garden. I've got two apples, one cooking, one regular, and I've got prunus ones where they blossom in spring. I'm such a horticultural nerd. I've done up my garden, and I've had a crash course in horticulture. So, I've started to learn about plants. So yes, that's prunus, maybe. Cherry blossom.
Ooh, I like it. Pale Rider says you should try and contact John Malin. He's definitely has fulfillment down pat. But if that is true and he's starting a fulfillment company, that could be very helpful for you for sure.
Okay. Yeah.
El Rolla, Texas wanted to know, did you notice sudden jump in backers after Zach mentioned your book on his channel a few weeks ago?
Did I notice a sudden jump?
Yeah. Did you have like all of a sudden a rush of people that went and backed? Because
yes, I did. I just didn't know what was it from.
So Zach, I guess, briefly mentioned your campaign, and we had a couple people who popped into chat and said that after he mentioned the campaign, that's how they heard about you. So they went and they backed you.
Yeah. No, I did have a sudden jump. I knew I had some jumps, and I was sat here scratching my head trying to figure out what I did to try and repeat it.
What you did was put out a beautiful book that caught the right eyes.
But thank you very much for that sudden jump. I really appreciate it.
Awesome. Pop says that you are welcome on Monday Madness anytime, which is super awesome.
Thank you.
Well, maybe we'll have to come on as a duo.
Yeah, we'll come on as a duo. Yes.
I like it. We're now BFFs. We have to do everything together. That's
absolutely. We come as a package deal.
Yes. Girl, I love you. You're amazing. Luke wants to know, what is your favorite comic that you've ever read?
I love Tokyo Ghost. I absolutely love the artwork in that, and I was just really, really drawn into it. What happened was I was going to a bookshop for my friend's book signing, and I just wandered in the graphics novel section and came across it, and I was like, I just somehow I was going through all sorts of different books, and when I saw this one, it really stood out. And it continued. It's the theme of the cyberpunk, and I love that it's like watercolors, and you can almost see the texture of the paper, and I just I just got drawn into the world, and I couldn't walk out without it. So I absolutely just loved it. Another comic that is dear to me is The Crow, and I think because of my husband passing away, I just felt akin, to the whole sort of being so close to death sort of thing, and it really, I could connect with it. And sort of what inspired The Crow inspired, because I did a little dedication at the front of the comic for my late husband. So he was originally from Venice. So I took the Venetian griffin and just put it there, and just put a little poem which was from World War One, and it's called Hallowed Ground, and the quote was to live in hearts we leave behind is not to die, and that's one of my ultimate favorite quotes. So sorry, I go off on tangents.
No, oh please. Look,
but I do. I mean, I get inspired by so many different things. I just think, and then take things from my own personal life that have happened to me. So
absolutely, no, that is absolutely beautiful. I'm the same way. Like I find inspiration by personal experience and by feeling. emotion. And do not ever worry about going off on tangents on this show. Sai is here. Sai actually has a gif of a mama panda dragging a baby panda back because I go off on tangents all the time. And Sai's like, back to what we're doing. I'm like, no, I want to be over here. It's funner. Do all the fun stuff. So never worry about that.
Yeah.
So we did have another question. Bob wanted to know, do you know who Zach is?
No, you're going to have to introduce me.
I would love to. Zach doesn't talk to me because Zach is your boy Zach. So he's one of the bigs in CG who he launches a campaign and it's like instant 6 figures kind of thing.
Yeah.
He's pretty big peep. So having somebody like him bring up your campaign even for a second and say,
that's brilliant. I need to research him now. That's my homework now. Honestly, I am
but he's on YouTube.
Yeah. Oh, brilliant. I'll have a look because I am so new to this. I mean, some of the questions and I was like, I don't know, like I am really new to, I'm so green.
Oh, you know what? We love that over here at Red Valkyrie. We love to help you get your confidence and find your voice. That's one of our favorite things to do. So I'm so happy that we could have you on this show. Good heavens, Jason. Thank you for the $5 super chat, sir. That's very sweet of you. It says super chat for the longest stream I've seen Shae do. Hail. I have done longer ones. They're usually fundraising streams. So this is, but here's the thing. When I have beautiful women that are just so nice and easy to talk to, why cut it short? There's no reason.
Because I used to feel so bad, like, you know, when I talk to my neighbors or I talk to people and I think, am I like talking too much? Because I think because I'm just with the kids, you know, I'm like mum on my own. I've just got the kids and then adults, I can talk to adults, you know, and then it's nice when I come on these shows. It's like I can do the very thing I like to do without feeling guilty about it.
Oh, yeah,
which is talk too much.
We do these one-on-one specifically. Like we don't ever show more than one project. The closest that we get to it is if somebody that we have on has multiple projects, then we might briefly mention the other ones, but we focus on one project because I like the deep dive and I like to have all of these cute little sidebars and know all of these intricacies about what makes you tick and what makes you happy and what makes you inspired, because that's what makes me excited about the comic. And that's why we have so many people that come over and watch these shows, because they know if they have questions, they can get them answered here. So I am more than happy to have you on anytime you're doing a project, because I feel like you're going to deliver a phenomenal product and you're such a sweetheart to talk to. You are always welcome.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I'm just loving all these comments as well on the side.
Oh, goodness.
They're just so entertaining.
Yeah, they do a lot. And for everyone who's worried about and us going through and reading about Zach and getting the wrong idea, I will help get her up to speed. Don't worry. We have a lot of people that are anti everything that we do and think that like I'm a Nazi and Zach is a Nazi and a bigot and I don't even know. Like they call them all kinds of stuff. We just ignore them. This is what we do because it's easier. But yeah, honestly, I am so happy that we could have you on. Timothy says, raise of hands, how many people think her and Shae should join forces?
Yeah, absolutely.
It's already happening. I don't know what y'all are talking about. You have no say in this. That's what we're gonna go do. Sorry, my dog is barking her head. Compressed air will make her stop because she thinks that something has happened. She has to go investigate the new sound. She gets stuck in anxiety loops and just barks at everything. But yeah, I'm so happy that we got you on. Your product is absolutely gorgeous. I can't wait to get it in my hands. I can't wait to reback for the 3rd time and get postcard prints because I want those up on my wall as well. Honestly, this is a gorgeous, gorgeous book. So if you haven't already backed, please go and back. Obviously, she's a phenomenal human being. She's just so much of a joy to talk to. Plus, she got a kick-ass artist. She's got a kick-ass book. Like this is bad fucking ass. Definitely go and check her out. thank you so much for coming on, sweetie.
Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it. It's been absolute fun.
I'm so happy you enjoyed it. So for everybody who is still hanging out with us, thank you guys so much. Please like, share, and subscribe to Red Valkyrie. And we will catch you all next time. See you later.
Bye.